Whenever you look up entrepreneurship online, you're just hit with this wall of noise, right? It's all people screaming about the hustle, the 24/7 grind, and how you have to manifest your success. It's so loud, it's super emotional, and let's be honest, it's pretty much all survivor bias. But what if there was another way? What if you just stripped all of that away? What if building a business wasn't about raw passion, but about, well, discipline? Today, we're going to dig into the Harvard Business Review's much quieter, much more strategic answer to all that hype.
And this quote right here, it's really the heart of everything we're about to talk about. It completely reframes the entire journey. This isn't about finding some magical idea or a secret hack. No, it's about systematically, piece by piece, reducing your risk and making smart, calculated decisions. It's about being the strategic adult in the room. So what we really have here are two totally different philosophies clashing with each other. On one side, you've got the chaotic, almost frantic energy of hustle culture, and on the other, you have the quiet, steady confidence that comes from strategic discipline. Let's really break down what that looks like. And this, well, this just lays it all out, plain as day. Hustle culture, it runs on pure emotion. The belief that just working harder, grinding longer, is always the answer. HBR's approach is the exact opposite. It's all about using proven frameworks and mental models to systematically de-risk your venture. It's about replacing that brute force grind with smart, intelligent management.
All right, let's start busting some myths. And we have to start with the biggest one of all, the one that hustle culture just loves to push. The idea that all you need is that one single genius billion-dollar idea, and boom, you're set for life. But as HBR points out, the reality is a lot more complicated than that. I know this might sound a little harsh, but it's a fundamental truth you've got to grasp. Ideas are everywhere. We all have them, all the time. What's actually rare, what's truly valuable, is the ability to take a simple idea and transform it into a genuine, viable opportunity. Now that's where the real work begins. So, how do you do that work? Well, this framework from Professor William Solomon is a fantastic way to think about it. It gives you 4 critical lenses to look through. It's not just about your idea. First, you look at the people. Forget the idea for a second. Can this specific team actually pull this off? Then the opportunity. Is the market you're going after actually big, and more importantly, is it growing? Third, the context. What's happening in the world? Are new technologies or regulations working for you or against you? And finally, you look at the deal. Is it structured in a way that's fair for everyone involved, so everyone stays motivated? See, this is how you stress test an idea and see if it holds up in the real world.
And digging a little deeper into that opportunity lens, this is one of the most powerful concepts in the whole handbook. You have to ask yourself, are you solving a migraine or just a headache? A headache is, it's annoying. People complain about it, but they'll live with it. A migraine, though, that is an urgent, all-consuming pain. It's something people will pay almost anything to make go away. The truly great businesses, they solve migraine-level problems.
Okay, so let's say you've done the work. You've validated your opportunity, you're solving a migraine. The next big trap that hustle culture sets for you is this obsession with growth at all costs. The idea that getting big and getting big fast is the only thing that matters. But as HBR shows, sometimes that kind of rapid growth can actually be the fastest way to drive your company right into the ground.
This right here, this is the antidote. It's so simple and so powerful. Before you dump a ton of money into marketing, before you hire a huge team, before you try to expand everywhere, you have to first prove that the model works on a small scale. You have to nail it. Find that perfect product market fit, confirm that your business model is actually sustainable. Once you've done that, once you've truly nailed it, then, and only then, do you hit the gas and scale.
And really, it all just boils down to some pretty simple math. It comes down to 2 key numbers. First, how much does it cost you to get a new customer? That's your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. And second, how much is that customer worth to you over their entire lifetime? That's your lifetime value, or LTV. Now, you can grow super fast by spending, say, $100 to get a customer who only ever pays you $80. But you're not building a business, you're just lighting money on fire. A healthy, sustainable business makes sure that its LTV is significantly higher than its CAC. Simple as that.
Which brings us to our final and maybe the most pervasive myth of all. The idea that to be a real startup, you have to raise venture capital. You know the stories we hear, right? It's always about pitching VCs on Sand Hill Road and raising these massive, headline-grabbing rounds of funding. But the actual data, it tells a very, very different story.
Just look at this chart for a second. It's pretty telling, isn't it? Less than 1% of all businesses are actually funded by venture capital. VC funding is a very specific type of fuel for a very specific type of rocket ship. We're talking about a company that has a realistic shot at growing 100x or more in just a few years. For the other 99% of perfectly good, healthy, sustainable businesses out there, it's just the wrong tool for the job.
So the really crucial thing here is choosing the right type of funding for your specific goals. There's always a trade-off. If you bootstrap using your own cash, you get maximum control, but your speed is probably going to be slower. If you take on debt, like a bank loan, you get to keep all your equity, which is great, but you have to pay that money back no matter what. And if you take equity from investors, like VCs, you get maximum speed, but you have to give up a significant amount of control over your own company. There's no right answer, only the right answer for you.
So after all that, where does this leave us? Well, the HBR approach isn't some magic formula that's going to guarantee your success. I mean, nothing can do that. Instead, what it gives you is a battle-tested, strategic toolkit to help you navigate the incredible uncertainty that comes with building something from scratch.
And at the end of the day, that's the real value. This handbook gives you the proper language to talk about your business, it tells you the critical metrics you need to watch, and it gives you the mental frameworks to think through your problems strategically. It helps you stop playing business and start actually building a durable, resilient company that can last.
So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Whether it's the obsession with finding that one perfect idea, or the constant pressure to grow at all costs, or even the belief that you need VC money to be considered legitimate, which one of these myths might be quietly shaping your own journey? Being honest with yourself about that, well, that's the first real step onto a much more disciplined and hopefully much more successful path.